Hey there guys, Walt Warner Productions here. Today's a little different. We're going to be doing knife reviews now. I'm still working on films, but I want to do something a little different, Be, in a variety of different things so other people can watch other content. We're going to be doing a nostalgic trip for people that are 40 years of age or over. So we're going to be doing a review of an 80s hollowed handle knife, aka the Survivor. Now this thing aired on television in the 80s, and it came after Rambo, the first Rambo movie, and ever since he used a hollow handle, everybody wanted one, specifically like 13-year-old kids. Now, the knives were made in China, and they had plastic handles. They were not really that durable, and they were really cheap. They came with some cheap accessories too, but we'll get onto that later. Later, Taiwan made their versions. They're much stronger with an aluminum handle, and they're 420 stainless steel. Here it is. Now the sheath is made of a pleather, and it's riveted in. I mean, it works as a sheath. It's not the best. I'd get a new one, but I'm only keeping it because it's the same sheath for this knife. This string already broke on me once, so I had to staple it together. But again, if I'm ever going to use it, I'm taking this thing off. Sheath is junk, but it works. Let's move on to a sharpening stone. I would not rely on this. I would use a good sharpening, a good knife sharpener machine or anything, but it's a coarse stone, but it works if you need it. But if you really want to sharpen your knife, get an electric one. Now, like I said before, this is the original, but it's different from the original. The original was made in China. Here it is. It's a foot in length, or around a foot in length. And accessories on the knife are a metal compass. It looks like something that you keep on an airplane or a boat. Now, I do not like compasses that are on outside of the knife, because when you drop them on rock, what do you think happens? I think they're pretty messed up. Yeah, so that's one flaw of the blade. 420 stainless. The knife is sharp, but not paper cutting sharp. There's a saw here, what it looks like, but really it's a grinder. It's kind of just grinds down stuff instead of cutting. Has a bottle opener, by the way, which is okay. Oh, but it takes up a lot of space. Instead, they should have put the saw down here more, all the way down to the back. I would not have added the bottle opener because I don't think you're going to have a bottle out there. But so the handle's made of aluminum. It has a weight to it. The guard kind of grips in, but I mean, it is what it is. It can sometimes be a little uneven. This one's not too uneven. It's not uneven really, but they lean because they're held in by a nut. It's not a fixed blade. It's hollow, which is where I'm going to get to it. Compass is a little accurate, not that good though. Wouldn't rely on it. Alright, compass is like I said, not too trustworthy, but works. Unscrew the muzzle. Here's your survival kit. Put a rubber band around it. I put rubber bands around all my stuff inside my survival knives. I have a few survival knives. So it comes in a plastic bag, which is a flaw because plastic bags don't really keep your stuff waterproof, but okay. So you basically take apart the bag. Now, I left all the stuff in here. This is all original stuff, except I added a rubber band to the matches just to keep them tight together. But here are the fishing hooks. Fishing hooks are way too big. because you're not always going to catch a fish that big. What if I'm hunting bluegill? It's not really going to work out. We have the classic waterproof matches. These are black. And then you have your sandpaper wrapped around them. Now, people, this is a way to know if your knife is American made for sure. If you take apart the rubber band, and you expose the matches, you will see that these things were just cut right off of a Taiwan matchbox, which is pretty cool. And then we have the other famous part of this bag, the saw. A wire saw. Now, wire saws, this is not good at all. Now, this saw was famous just because of its charm to it, you know, like, oh, like a wire saw, you know, just it's in there, you know, it's just a habit. But get a chain instead of wire, because what happens is over time, this wire has been bent so long, when you bend it back into shape, when you unkink it, it has several, if not, well, I mean, I'd say, like, it has like over 6 weak points in the metal, because how many times it's been bent. Here you have your sewing kit. Now, it came with no fabric, so I added some paper and put some fabric in there. Comes with maybe around 10-pound test fishing line, 7-pound maybe. I mean, okay, but I'd use a fly instead of a big hook. I'd use a not that, I wouldn't use heavy pound test at all. So you have your lead balls with holes in them. They're not split shots. You're just supposed to, I guess, put the line through them instead. They're more like they're not split shots. So we're gonna put those aside. Here's your paper bag. It smells pretty musty. Came from an auction. I mean, what do you expect? So this is your basic stuff that you get in the kit. You get a saw, matches, fishing line, hooks, and lead sinkers, and a sewing kit. I mean, it's your basic stuff, but yeah, I mean, I would customize it if you're ever going to use this, but there are better knives out there. Now, see that match just chipped away. So that match is trash. This match looks good. I'm going to be testing out the matches, because the matches are an important trait of these knives. They work. These are 80s waterproof matches, and they still work pretty good. Yep. That's cool. That was the first strike of this sandpaper. That's going to be the only one. I don't want to use it all up. I like it when it's mint. But your matches work, some of them. I'd say that one does not look good. Your stuff is basic. That's the thing about it. It's a basic, but again, you can get this stuff for better, like you get better waterproof matches. If I was going to customize this, which I've done before, but not this knife, get some waterproof matches, strike anywhere matches, get rid of that, and add some of them flint cotton balls. They're cotton balls that are really flammable. And replace this with a flint striker, and replace this with a mosquito fly, and some, low power test. But that's what I'd use. So those are my overall reviews of the accessories and the knife look itself. Now, for a durability test, I know how this is going to go out. I'm not going to be doing a test on the strength of this knife. I know it has the okay strength, but it cannot take wood batoning that well. I know this is going to get loose. Now, the Chinese ones, they break whenever you try to do a baton with them. But I mean, this is just gonna get loose because it's held in by a nut. It has an aluminum handle, but weak points, I mean, the compass, like the pros and cons, compass is in the wrong place and a little inaccurate. The knife has too many, like this stuff's pointless. There's so much pointless stuff on the knife. Saw's not sharp, bottle opener's useless. Yeah. Survival kit's basic. And another thing is this. If you unscrew your bezel, use your saw, lose these 2 rings, and then try to screw this back on, that's as far as it goes. And you have a lot of open threads there. I don't like that. So my overall review of the Survivor is a good knife for a cheap price, but don't get the Chinese one. Chinese one's plastic and it does not last at all. This knife's like I said before, the only reason this knife's really good is because of its history. Without the history, it's trash. But hey, what are you gonna get? This is the first marketed Rambo knife there was back in the 80s. You gotta give it respect for being there. This is a trinket from the 80s. And I know I was not born in the 80s, and I was born way after the 80s, but I'm obsessed with stuff like this. Like this is a time capsule. The stuff in here is a time capsule. Man. I have one more look at it before I sign out. Yep, those are my overall reviews. Star points, I'd give it a 3 out of 5 for history, just like because of the trinket. But for a knife, I give it a 2 out of 5 because it has some disappointing features. But again, shoot, I think my dad even had one of these. Man. Okay, guys, Cameraman signing out, and peace out. Bye.